The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. Taken about 7 yards deep, and they will elect to not bring this one out as our first drive will begin at the 25. On first down, Allen. He gets it left side to Johnson. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down.
2nd and 6 at the 29-yard line.
Allen going to throw. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down.
1st and 10.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Watch safety creep. Watch safety creeping. Safety's creeping. Alert!
Here's Ronald Jones, first carry for the USC man. Room here to run. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
And they didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
After the penalty, it's Jones. 9 big yards on the carry there, and it'll be second down. Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice, steady gain.
Still 9 yards to go on second down from the 27. On the counter, here's Jones. And he'll be dropped at the 23 after a pickup of about 4.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
On third down, here's Jones. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Now that was a big-time play by the defense. They as well knew where the first down line was, and they didn't let them get anywhere near it.
Rosa song for the field goal. A 38-yard attempt.
Rosa's kick is good. And the Bucs take a 3-0 lead. Even though they didn't find the end zone, they have to be pretty pleased with how they moved the ball on the ground because we know that that was one of their big goals in this game.
And that really goes through the entire offense because when you're running the ball effectively, just about everyone's involved. It's not just the guy carrying the football. It's everyone blocking for him, both inside and on the perimeter.
And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards.
21-yard line.
Eason and the Colts now with a 1st and 10 at their own 21. Throwing is Eason. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Throwing again, Eason. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete.
Eason's pass.
9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Now Eason looking for Campbell downfield. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Absolutely no disguise on that one. They just went for it. Put him out there and said, go deep. Let's try and hit him. Unfortunately, to no avail.
Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Fielded at about the 28. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Here's Jones. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. 8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3.
Makes it 3rd and 3.
To the air, Allen. We got a man, it's Ross, complete. And he is going to have a Bucs 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. 10 yards there and a Buccaneer 1st down. To throw, it's Allen. He's got a man, it's his fullback. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another 1st.
At the 42-yard line.
Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. They run the counter. Jones. And he is going to lose yardage here. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports.
Buccaneers 3, Colts 0.
2nd and 11. This is Jones. And he's going to get this pretty close to a first down at the Colts 33. And now here's a timeout called by the Colts on the defensive side of the ball. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter.
Let's go. Hey, we got Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. Hey, defense, let's go. Pick it up, D. Middle. Mike, 53. 53.
And they'll go jet sweep to try to pick it up. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard.
Brings up 4th down and 1.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. They'll put it down right at the 40, so call this a 50-yard attempt. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And they're able to double their lead in this first half. It's 6-0. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep. The Colts take
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
And now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. They'll throw on first down with Eason. Escaping the pressure right. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. He's picked off at his own 47. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week. 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Got a man open. It's Ross. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 14 yards there and a Buccaneer first down. They'll run it with Jones. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
That's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Now Jones. He's got a first down and much more inside the 20. And all the way down to the 17-yard line. A gain of 13. It's a first down. Josh Allen, he says that he wants to continue to perfect executing the run-pass option. Looked pretty good there.
And he's put in the minds of all people trying to defend him that his legs create big plays. So guess who benefits?
His running back.
You no doubt about it, and we just saw it there.
Allen. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
That was a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Jones, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down. Now they'll toss to Jones running left. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage back at the 17.
Brought down.
He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave him 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. It's their 3rd drive now, and so far we've seen a punt. In that 2nd drive, CD, they turned the ball over, so not the start that they were envisioning.
Yeah, they've been ineffective so far, but look, they've worked on a game plan all week long. Don't get away from it too soon. Find a way to get some significant gains, loosen up, get going, and then they should be okay the rest of the way.
He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
It's interesting because when I'm watching college football and I'm evaluating guys for the draft now, my list of fullbacks, pure fullbacks, it's a very short list. I'm probably evaluating more punters and kickers now than I am fullbacks, but it doesn't matter what you call the position, it's who you put there, and there we saw completion.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll send you cross-state to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have all the stats and all the scores from games going on during another busy Sunday in the National Football League. And that is incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down.
As soon as I saw him break contain and get outside, my first thought and my eyes gravitated downfield, because nowadays, most of these quarterbacks, when they do that, they want the big play downfield. They don't want to throw it short. In this case, he took the shot. It fell incomplete.
Now a late flag comes in as they got him down via the face mask, and that'll give him even better starting position. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
So the penalty yards marched off on the face mask. Here's 1st and 10. From the shotgun, a give to Jones. 1st down and much more here for Jones. And finally down at the 36-yard line. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
58 to Mike, 58 to Mike. Right. 58, right over there, Yeah. Mike, 58, right there. Yeah, let's get a second. 58 for Mike. 58 for Mike.
Snap comes at 1, and it's Allen. Flush to his right. Now he'll let it go deep. And this is caught inside the 5. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. A kicker fest so far, all points via field goals. They're hoping to change that right here.
53 for Mike. 53 for Mike.
And he'll get it down close to the goal line, but not quite in. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. Second and goal from the 1.
53 is Mike. You don't want none, baby. You don't want none. Hey, you don't want to see me.
They'll try and run it in with Jones. And this time he is in. Ronald Jones with touchdown number 8 on the year as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there, unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
25-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. He's going to let it go again. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker?